Next problem, problem number 10. Of course, this is GED math, and that problem is on page 586. So let's write the problem out. Well, you have it in your book. We're just going to write the number, and this is page 586. Uh-oh. Okay, 586. I'm not using my normal tool, and this is 10. Bear with me here. Okay, so let's read the problem, and then I'll write out the original problem. So it asks you to simplify the following expression, and here's the original problem, the expression that they give you. It's a polynomial. So this particular problem is what we call a polynomial. Okay, it has 3 terms. So let's write out the problem. 2x squared minus 2xy plus 4xy. Okay, we said this is a polynomial. Let's write this out. Alright, thought we had a little error here. Okay, so let's write it. Polynomial. I try to be as detailed as I can, and sometimes we miss something. You know, what you say, everything we say and we do here, it's going to help, hopefully, you understand how to do these problems. So sometimes I'll miss a statement that I think about later that, oh, maybe I should have said this. In the last problem, we were talking about parallel, and I'm going to show you something. We should have illustrated what parallel means so you can see it. And that's what I'm saying. So every now and then there'll be a little something that we said or we should have said, and we'll try to correct that. So this one here that we're working on is a polynomial. Now, on that last problem, let me show you. When we say parallel, we mean that the lines go in the same direction. See, that's parallel. See, those 2 lines are parallel to each other. Now, I don't know why I jumped so long, but we'll draw it. Okay, so those 2 lines are parallel, or these 2 lines are what? Parallel to each other. So that's what we meant when we were saying that that trapezoid was parallel, 2 of the sides. Okay, let's erase that and then let's continue with this problem. Okay, so I hope I don't have too much noise because I'm out and about and I want to get this recorded so you'll have it. Okay, so what do we do to start this problem? Well, the first thing we do is we're going to factor. And what we have to do is we have to factor each of the terms of the polynomial. So we'd have to factor this term first. Then we're going to factor the negative 2xy term. Then we're going to factor the plus 4xy term, okay? Okay, So now you can see we factored the first term, this term. Okay, look, 2x is the same as 2x squared. See, the 2x, because when you're saying, look, let me get my red pen. When we're saying x squared, you see this x and this 2, that means x times x. Okay, and you can see we have 2x is here, x, 2x, and an x here is the same as this term. Okay, so this term has been factored. And when we're talking about factoring, we mean what makes up that particular term. And we can see that this term here is made up of 2x, and this term is made up of 2 and is made up of x squared, which we illustrated that down here. The 2, the x, and the other x here makes 2x squared. Okay, so that term has been factored. So what do we do next? Well, we factor the next term. And this next term here, you can see this entire term is negative. See? The whole thing here is negative. Negative 2xy. So the first part of this term is 2x. And guess what? We have that already right here. See? 2x. But we do not have the negative y. Okay, so let's put it here. Get my pen. And there it is. Okay, so now we factored this term, and I'm going to show you. See, negative 2xy here, and we have 2x times negative y, which would equal negative 2xy. So remember now, what's outside here, this 2x, is multiplied to what's inside here. Okay. Alright, so let's now factor the next term, which is the plus 4xy. Okay. So we see that we have a 4 here, and what makes up a 4? Well, we know a 2 and another 2. Okay, so let's put another 2 there. So we have 4x here, you see, 4x, and what makes up that 4x is a 2x. We know that. All right, so let's do it. So we would go plus 2. Okay, so let's see what we have now. So we're not done factoring this last one yet, but I want to show it to you. So we have, of the 4x, see, of the 4x, we have 2x times 2, which would give us a 4x, but we're still missing the y. Okay, so we have to bring the y down. Remember what I said we're doing? We're factoring this term, and when factoring, we're saying what makes up the term. And here we go. Okay, so we've actually factored all 3 terms. We have the 2x squared term, we have the negative 2xy term, and we have the plus 4xy term. You can see that. See? So I'll show you the plus 4xy. 2x here times 2y will give us a 4xy. Okay, so the term has been factored. Now, what's the next step? Well, what we want to do next, I'll write it out to the side so you'll see. So the second step, the first step was to factor. So let's put that there. We're going to factor. I'll use my red. Okay. So the first step was to factor, which we did. And then the next step will be to combine like terms. So let's look and see what happens. Okay, so what you're going to do here is look over here at the terms and see which are like. There's nothing like the x term here because x is the only one there. But we have a negative y term here, and we have a plus 2y. And so when we take a plus 2 and a negative y, that gives us y. So let's put that there. Here's what it's going to look like next. So we're going to do this. So we got to combine like terms. So we're going to put the y, because that's the only thing that can be combined there. You see? So where are we getting this y from? Because you have a 2y term and you have a y term. So negative y and a plus 2y leave you with y. You see? So let me go ahead and draw my line here. Put it in the brackets. Okay, what about the x term here? Well, there's nothing to combine it with, so it just comes down, right? And remember that plus 2y is positive, so let's put it, the plus goes with that y. Okay? And then you just bring this part here down to x. Because remember, all we're doing when we're up here at this step after we factor, we're just going to combine like terms. And so we've done that right here. The only thing that could be combined was the y terms. And so this is your answer. Okay, so let's continue with the next problem. Let's erase this one. And the next problem is number 11. And of course, out of the GED book. And this problem is also on page. Okay, so this problem is on 586. And let's read it. You have your book. Follow along, please. It reads, a scientist measures the outside temperature at noon each day over a 3-day period. And they show you a little chart there. On Saturday, the temperature was -1. Sunday, the temperature was 2. And Monday, the temperature was -4. And of course, the temperatures are being taken at noon in Fahrenheit. So the question asks, what was the average temperature on these 3 days? Place an X on the number line below to represent your answer. And of course, you need to follow along in your book. Okay, so let's do the problem. So what you're going to do is, this is an average. So basically how we average things is we add them together and we divide it by the total number. In this case, there are 3 temperatures, so we're going to divide it by 3. Now, I know the way they have it set up in the back of the book, but I'm going to show you the way we did it, and I'll do it the way they have it in the back of the book. So what you have to do is this. You say, okay, the first temperature was -1, all right? And then the next temperature was a +2, or 2, all right? Temperature was 2. So guess what? A -1 and a +2 is going to leave what? 1. All right? So now that we have the 1, we're going to say 1 and a -4 was the third temperature, which leave us with what? a negative 3. So here, I'm showing it to you this way because some people will take and go, okay, let me go 1, 2, 4, add together, divided by 3. That's not the right answer because remember, you're dealing with negative and positive numbers here. So I'm showing you exactly the way to do this. Now that we have negative 3, how many numbers are there? There were 3 numbers, so we're going to divide it by what? 3. And now, here's something important. Anytime you multiply a negative and a positive, the answer is going to be negative. Anytime you divide a negative and a positive, the answer will be negative. So, negative 3 divided by a positive 3 is 1. 3 going to 3 one time. But the answer is going to be negative 1. Okay? So now, when you get this answer, negative 1, they want you to go and place your answer or place a dot on the correct answer on the number line that's in your book. And of course, you would place the little dot on negative 1. All right, that's your answer for this problem. Okay, now, the way they did it in the book, all they did was they set it up as a division like this. And they went 1, yeah, they did the 1, hold on a second. Oops. Little pen. So they did negative 1. I'm just showing, and you can see in the back of the book. So negative 1, then they did a plus 2, plus what? Negative 4. Divided by 3. Equals. And you're going to come up with the same answer. You can see this in your book. Same thing. So I'm doing is I don't want you to get confused on this. Same thing. So you can see how we got the answer, and I'm just illustrating the way they have it in your book. Same answer. Okay, let's move on to question number 12. Okay, so let's erase 11. Let's start with 12. And same page number, 586. Okay, question number 12. GED book. And so they ask here, what is the value of 4 to the 7th power? Okay, so let's write it out. 4 to the 7th, right? And we know anytime we have an exponent, it means to multiply it that many times. So you should have 4 7 times, right? 1, 2. So now you see that multiplication symbol here, right? Right there. This also means multiply. And when you're using the dot there in between, right? I did that because it was something I was supposed to mention there, so you can see. I may do it again. So this means multiply. So what we're doing is we're putting 4 7s. I mean 7 4s. So that's 4 of them. Now look, this means multiply also. In anytime you see a number with a bracket sitting next to either another bracket or another number, it means to multiply. You see? Now I'll show you again. See? this means to multiply. Anytime you see a bracket sitting next to another bracket, it means multiply what's inside there to what it's next to. So it would be 4 times 4. Or if it's sitting next to another number. You see, I'm going to show you. So I mention it now, the different ways in which you multiply using algebra. Alright, so we should have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you just multiply. So that's going to equal. Okay, so this will equal 16,384. Okay, that's your answer. It's as simple as that. Don't matter what the exponent was. If the exponent was 4 to the third, then we would have 3 4s, and we would go 4 times 4 times 4. Whatever the exponent is, you put the number that many times and just multiply. Okay, and let's move to the next problem.